Awesome, awesome. 2016 is definitely going to be a great year, but you have to decide to make it just that, right? So, just to go ahead, and I know that I don't know most of you here. This is actually one of my first times up front, so just give you a quick intro on myself before we get started. My name is Rico, 23 years old, born and raised in Harlem, as Lupe said. And it's pretty simple. I got started in this industry about 2 years ago. I was a broke college student. I was looking for something different. I was hanging around a lot of the wrong crowd, doing a lot of the wrong things, just following pretty much what everyone else was doing, including my parents. Go to school to get good grades, to hopefully come out and work for someone else for the rest of your life. I knew that's not what I wanted for myself, right? I got introduced to this industry. It's literally changed my life. I've been able to travel all around the U.S. I haven't traveled before, so that was definitely awesome.
Woo! Congratulations!
Woo! And when I got started, I was fortunate enough to be coachable. I did what I was told. I grew a pretty large organization. I made some good money for someone my age that started off broke. And what happened was I ended up blowing a lot of that money. So just as fast as it was coming in, it was going out, right? So naturally, what I started to do was I started to look for ways to invest, look for ways to manage my money better. I blew about $700 with stock classes, trying to learn stocks. I saw the Wolf of Wall Street, got really fired up. Had absolutely no idea how it worked, but I was like, you know what, let's go do it. So I blew a lot of money doing that, and it was just a bad situation for me. I got a little discouraged. Fortunately, about a month later, I was introduced to wealth generators. My very first live trade, I turned 10 cents into $47.
Woo!
Yeah! 10 cent lot. Woo!
Yeah. So, it's definitely life-changing. And that's what I like about what we have here, is that there is literally no other company in this industry that can do what we got. You know what I'm saying? That can do what we do, right? And that's literally taking the average person, taking a customer, and just putting their money to work for them, showing them how to make money without even recruiting. But what I want to talk about today is something really simple, right? It's something that each and every one of you should already be familiar with, but also something that many of you would probably struggle with, and that's recruiting, okay? What we got to understand is that recruiting is a mindset, right? And if you don't have the proper mindset, you're never going to be able to recruit. Does that make sense to everyone here?
That's right.
Yes. Okay, so with that being said, show of hands, right? How many people have ever heard the word no before in your entire life, not just in this business? We all heard no, right? Fellas, you heard no from right? You've been rejected before. But has that ever stopped you from going out and trying again with the next female?
No.
Not at all, right?
Persistence.
Consistency is key.
Consistency.
CVS, Dwayne Reed, right? I go into these stores all the time. I see kids. They're with their parents. They get to the front. And in all of these stores, they have nothing but candy in the front, right? And most of the time, what I see is the kid disappears for a little bit while the parent's paying, and they come back with some candy. They either ask the parent for the candy, or they slip it into the basket, hoping that they won't notice. 80% of the time, I'm standing there in line, I just laugh because it always happens the same way. The parent yells at the kid, "Where'd you get this from? Put it back." Right? And they get that no. But does that ever stop the kid from going again the next time they get into that store and asking for the candy?
No.
No. And that's because kids are not yet programmed to know what rejection is. They don't care about it. They have no feeling towards it. Right? And that's exactly how each and every one of you should be about your business when it comes to building. You got to understand that everyone here is going to get a no. You are going to have someone that tells you no to the business. You are going to have the people that tell you that this isn't going to work. It's one of those things, right? It's a pyramid. But you got to understand that if you're taking these people's opinion, if you're buying into what they say, you're eventually going to buy into what they have. And I haven't met one person that told me no to this idea that has what I want. Does that make sense?
Oh, wow.
Woo!
Boom.
Right. You're going to have this is actually my favorite one. You're going to have those schemers in your inbox that are going to tell you no and then try to convince you why what they have is better. Stay focused. Have vision.
Yes.
When you signed up to this company, you saw something, right? Everyone here saw something when they signed up, right?
Right.
Exactly. You didn't just sign up for no reason. So you can't let someone else come in and deter you from the path in which you decided to take. Go out there, make it happen, do what you got to do, and understand that no's are inevitable. They're going to be there. You're going to get a lot of no's. But we got to realize is that right now we're running through the no's. You're going through the no's as fast as possible.
Yes.
No, 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 because every no that you get to brings you that much closer to a yes.
Hello.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What I like to do is, I see this, and I learned this actually pretty early on in the industry, is I see this as a deck of cards, right? 52 cards in a deck. And out of all of those cards, we're only looking for 4. So, you can imagine, out of all of those cards, you're only looking for 4, you're going to get a lot of no's in the process, right?
Yes.
We're looking for those 4 aces. Aces are people that are going to come in and absolutely dominate the business. They're going to come in, they're going to see the vision from the jump, they're going to be coachable, they're going to follow the system because that is key, and they're going to dominate. Aces are people like Ness, people like Manny, people like Mr. Rick Roberry back there, like Jay Will, okay? Those are aces, people that come in and see the vision from the jump and freaking dominate. And what I want you guys to understand, and actually if you're taking notes, write this down, each and every one of you should be taking notes, is that anything but a yes is a no. A lot of people, they show the plan, they show the deal, and they get really excited when someone says, they have that kind of unsure yes. And they're like, oh yeah, my friend said, yeah, he's going to be in next week. Listen, don't waste your time on any of those people. This is a race. As Ness says, it's a race for market share. Right? This is blowing up in this area right now, in New York, the tri-state. It's not a matter of if the person's going to join, it's who are they going to join with.
And when, yep.
Are they going to join with you? Or are you just going to, wait on it and let someone else take it? Anything but a yes is a no. So when I show the deal, it's simple. Are you ready to get started? Yes or no, right? It sounds good, man. I definitely want to do this, but I just want to go back and do some research. I want to get more information. No. That is a no. Show the plan. Move on. Are you ready to get started? Yeah, man, definitely no, but I don't have the money right now. I'll probably do this. No. That is a no. Show the plan. Are you ready to get started? And this is probably the worst one you can get, right? Especially if it's one of your friends. Yeah, man, it sounds good. We're gonna freaking dominate. But how much are you making right now? Are you making money yet? So here's what we do. When you start making money, you come back to me, and boy, we're gonna go in with this. No. And if that's one of your friends, then you have to rethink your friend circle. Because this is pretty much what that person just told you, right? You have 2 doors in front of you. One door, and by the way, you don't know which door is which. One door you can walk through and live the happiest life you can imagine. Fun, freedom, okay? The other door you can walk through and you can live the dullest life you could possibly imagine. Working for the rest of your life, being told when to wake up, when to use the bathroom, when you can eat lunch. And what your friend just told you is it sounds good, but I want you to walk through the door first, and based on what happens to you, that'll determine which door I choose.
Wow.
Does that make sense to anyone here? Right? So really think about who it is you're listening to, who it is you're following. Okay? And which brings me to my very next point. And this is probably one of the most important, one of the most lucrative skills you can acquire when it comes to recruiting, when it comes to building a business. It's urgency. Right? Speak of leaders and speak of the pack.
Yep.
If you're not moving, if you're not running, your team's not going to be running either. Right? If you're not urgent about your business, your prospects won't be urgent about joining your business. Your team won't be urgent about following you in business. Speak of leaders, speak of the pack, guys. Really understand that. If you're out there and you're in management mode, if you're just sitting back and telling your team what to do, hey, we got to do calls, we got to do meetings. Hey, set up a meeting at your house. People do what you do, not as you say. So if you're not out and you're not showing the business, if you're not recruiting, you're not hosting meetings, don't expect your new person to come in and understand the importance of it. They're not going to do it either, because they see you as the person that got them started, you're the person that has some kind of success in this business to them. And well, if Rico can do this business without doing any of this stuff, why do I have to do it? Does that make sense?
Yep.
So you got to be out there duplicating. You got to be out there training your people. You got to be out there doing the personal development on a daily basis. It's all about mindset. Okay? You got to ask yourself, would you like to have yourself in your business? If I signed me up today, would I be satisfied with my work ethic?
Wow.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yes.
How many of you understand that exposure is everything?
Yes.
Show of hands. Exposure is everything, right? If you're not showing the deal, you cannot sign someone up.
Yeah.
It's not possible.
Yep.
You have to go out there and you have to constantly be exposing, right? You have to constantly be showing the opportunity, whether it's prospecting, whether it's doing three-way calls for your team, okay? Whether it's attending events, attending trainings, putting everything you do offline, online. I do online stuff all the time, but I'm able to do online stuff because of what I do offline. As I came up, what did I do? I recorded myself coming up here. I've been blasting, my social media about this meeting, and many people asked me about this meeting. The people that did not attend will wish they attended when I post up the rest of my information. So everything you do offline, you have to put online. Okay? And understand this. You have to always be closing. Learn your ABCs. Always be closing. If you're not closing, you're not making money.
Hello.
It's that simple.
Yep.
And I'm a little straightforward with this stuff. Yeah, it's just my personality. As I said, Red. I get straight to the point. And if you're not closing, you're not making money. So at the end of every presentation, at the end of every three-way call, you need to be asking the question. And a lot of people are scared or they feel it's awkward to ask the question. When I do three-way calls and a person tells me something like, oh yeah, I love it, man, blah, blah, blah. Most people will say, okay, he likes it. That's it. And they'll just leave him there. Okay, you like it, so are you ready to get started?
Right.
Yes or no? Always be closing, okay? And this is actually, I'm going to pretty much wrap it up with this last point. And it's not really about recruiting, but more or less what to do after you recruit. I had this problem when I first got started, and it took a huge chunk of my time, of my efforts, and also the people that I recruited. Okay? Work with the willing. You got to understand that you're going to sign up a lot of people. Hopefully, if you're doing what you got to do, if you're following the system, you will see the results. You're going to sign up a lot of people, but not a lot of people are going to put in the work.
That's right.
And I'll tell you guys a story. When I first got started in this industry, my second person in was one of my friends, one of my best friends. And I thought we were going to dominate. We went to college together. We were going to do this. We were on two separate campuses, but he knew a lot of people. I knew a lot of people. We were going to freaking go. It did not happen that way. I put a lot of time and a lot of effort into trying to help my friend better his situation. I lost residual 2 months because I gave him my personals to help him pop rank. He was 2 people away from earning an extra $600 a month in residual income. And that month he quit. He had all the excuses in the world as to why he couldn't do it. Everyone told him no. He had no time. He was always working. He couldn't watch the videos. He couldn't attend the trainings. Every excuse in the world. Those people you don't want to work with. Okay? I spend very small amount of time with him now. His mindset is just different, right? So work with the willing. Understand that 80% of your time should go to the top 20% of the producers in your organization. 80% of the time should go to the top 20% of producers. And this is nothing personal for anyone out there. It's not personal. But you got to understand that this is a business, right? I'm here to build the business. I'm here to build a legacy, to make sure that my future is set in place, make sure that my family is good. So when it comes to building a business, you have to have that mindset. If they're not all in, then they're all out. Right? So 80% of the time, top 20%. The top 20% will produce 80% of your income.
Hello.
Work with them. Work with the willing.
Woo!
All right?
Sir.
So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up right here and leave you with this. Never let your past failures determine your future success. And this is important when it comes to recruiting. This is important when it comes to building. It's actually important when it comes to anything. Right? You're going to have, like I said, the people that are going to tell you no. If you have a day where you talk to 10 people and all 10 people told you no, you have to wake up the next day as if you just got 10 sign-ups. Have that excitement. Never let your past failures determine your future success. You're going to have days where you wake up and you're just out of it. You don't think this is for you anymore. You get a little discouraged. You got to go on, whether it's the next hour, the next day, as if you just had one of the best freaking days of your life. If you have a three-way call, don't bring your emotions. If you're having a terrible day and one of your teammates entrusts you with closing out a deal for them, don't bring your emotions to that call. Don't be dull. Don't be boring. Come in with that same excitement. Right? Yeah. Never let your past failures determine your future success. With that being said, guys, like I said before, 2016 is going to be the freaking year. It's either going to make you or it's going to break you. But what you got to do is you got to dream bigger. You have to believe bigger so that you too can achieve bigger. It's my time.